I'm Andrew Phillips and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to repair a Frigidaire top mount washing machine. This is part of the Crown series. We're going to go ahead and open that up, find out what the problems are, and go ahead and fix it and get it working again. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and secure the lid because we're going to have to open this up. You don't want that lid popping open. So I just went ahead and put some tape on it so you can go ahead and tape that down as I did here so that way it keeps it tight. The next thing that you want to do is you always want to unplug the unit before you do anything on it. So we're going to go ahead and unplug that, cut off any power to it. And now we're ready to go ahead and get this top opened up so we can start digging into this thing. You'll notice here along the edge there's a clip right here. And if we come down here to the other side, right here is the other clip. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a flathead screwdriver. You could also use a putty knife so we can pop those out. Okay. What I do is just put it in there. Hit it, it'll release it, come down here, release that, and then you can just go in there, open that up, and now your lid is open and we can pop that up. All right, I went ahead and pulled it out about 2 feet, so now we can prop this back and let that rest securely back there. We have the door taped so nothing will open, so now we have access to here. Next thing we need to do is we need to remove this front panel. So there's 2 screws down along the bottom. Let's head down there and I'll show you how to take those off. Along the bottom here, there's 2 screws, one here, one down here, and both of those are actually square head screws. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a S2 square bit to take those off. Okay, using a ratchet. Go ahead and get these out. Now that we have the screws out, what you're going to want to do is we're going to want to push this panel down. It's actually hooked in there real good, so we're going to push it down to pull it out of the of that track, so that way we can remove it. So just there you go. Get it on both sides. And there we go. Now we have access to the hole inside here. And we have the drain pump, and we have the belt, the dry belt, and we have access to everything that we need to get to so we can go ahead and make the repairs that we need. Okay, we can see here that the drive belt is broken because it's off the pulley here, so we'll remove that, and you can see it's snapped. And then just to give a little overview, this particular machine was not draining properly. The water was staying inside of it. There you see, look at that. Look at all the water still trapped in here. See it coming up through the holes, which is then not allowing it, and you can hear it. So I had already had this open before, and we tested the drain hose to make sure there was no obstruction, which there was not, which then led me to this drain pump here, the water pump, that basically this hose here comes out from the machine, water comes in here, the pump then pumps it through the drain hose out to the drain. So this is not working, it's not draining properly, so we're going to go ahead and replace this, and then we're also going to replace the drive belt, and that should get this machine fixed. So let's go ahead and get the new part so we can get started on that. Alright, what we have here, here's the replacement drain pump. Brand new pump. You can pick these up fairly inexpensive on eBay or Amazon. This particular one came off of Amazon. I believe it was only like $21 or $22. I'll put the actual details here on the bottom. And then also what we have here, this is the drive belt. And these are around $10 or even sometimes a little less than $10. This one also I got on Amazon. You can get them Amazon, eBay, fairly inexpensive. So let's go ahead and unpack these and start swapping out these parts. To remove the drain pump, you have 2 Phillips screws holding the bracket in place. One here, and then let's see if we can see it. Then there's one right back there. We need to take those off, and then you have your electric connection here. We just go ahead and pull that out gently, disconnect that. So now we can go ahead and remove that. And then you also need to remove the 2 hoses here. This one's already been removed, so I already took off the little bracket or latch, whatever you want to call that, that holds that in place. I took it off of this one when I was diagnosing the problem the other day. So now we're going to remove this one. And to do so, you can just take a pair of pliers and just pretty much just grab that, squeeze it, and slide it back. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those, and then we'll go ahead and start unscrewing this, and that way we can put the new one in. Okay. Take those off to the side. For these two screws holding in the bracket, even though it looks like a Phillips head a little bit, you're better off just using just the regular this S2 square bit that we used on the front. Okay. Go ahead and release the, let's get that off of there. It's holding the electrical connection. All right, the new one's in place. Let's go ahead and screw that down. Both hoses have been connected and locked in with the clamps. Everything is anchored, so now all we have to do now is just connect the electric to it. So let's go ahead and just take this plug here, push it in. There you go, until it locks. And then we can go ahead and take this little piece here, lock that in. Everything is now secure. And everything is good to go. So the pump is now in place. Everything is connected. Everything is secured in place. So now we can move on back here to the belt. All right, we are getting ready to slide the new belt in. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what's in here. What you have back here is your transmission pulley. That's the big one there in the back. Then you have your idler here, and this is actually spring, so you can push that back. And then there you have your motor pulley. So the belt's going to wrap around the motor pulley, around the idler, then go back here around that transmission pulley, and then loop back around. But what we're going to do is have to push this all the way in order to give it the slack before we tension up the belt with letting it go. So I'm going to go ahead, and you're going to have to slide that underneath here. There's a little bit of clearance to get it back there, and then we'll wrap it around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and that should take care of that. Now to get more clearance here, I'm going to go ahead and actually take this part up here, slide that back. So now if you come down here and check, we have a lot more clearance under here for the belt to slide underneath. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So now the belt slides clearly underneath the idler and the motor pulley, so we can get it back here to the transmission pulley to wrap it. Let's see here, we need to get that underneath here. There we go. And now that'll slide right here. Get that here onto the transmission pulley. There we go. So now we can come around the motor and the idler and then secure that. So what we're going to do is push the idler all the way down to wrap around it, and then we can then pull this around the motor pulley. There we go. Let's see if we can get that there. You can see now as I rotate the motor pulley, the belt is nice and secure. There you go. You can see it rotating around that transmission pulley there. And we've got the new drive belt in place. It's nice and secure on there too. Let's go ahead and put everything back together and try out the machine, make sure everything is working as it should. Okay, the front panel's put back on. We went ahead and screwed it back in. So now we're going to go ahead and close this. Go ahead and close the top. Lower it down gently and then just bang that in. Go ahead and remove the tape. And then I'm going to go ahead and push it back against the wall so we can plug it in and go ahead and try it out. Make sure everything's working the way it should. Okay, that's been pushed back. Let's go ahead and plug that in. And I'm going to go ahead and just put it on a small load on cold. Everything is sounding good. You can hear the machine moving, so the belt is definitely working good. Transmission is moving. You can hear it. Now we just need to test the drain pump, make sure that everything drains properly. And you can hear it draining nice and strong, so we know the drain pump is working. Let's go ahead and open it up and make sure that the water is definitely gone. There you go. This thing is completely empty, so the drain is definitely working the way it should. Well, everything appears to be working fine. The machine is good as new again. I hope this video helped you out. Please send any questions, any comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, I appreciate the support, and I thank you for that. So please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you next time.